Blog Talk Radio. Raw living is a state of mind, a way of being in alignment with your body. Raw living means you put yourself and your body first. Your host, Sidhu-Robb, is the founder of Nosh Detox, located in the UK. They offer innovative raw food smoothies sold across Europe. You experience it in your skin, your body, and your mind. And now it's time for Living Raw Radio. Raw living is a state of mind, a way of being in alignment with your body. Raw living means you put yourself and your body first. Your host, Sidhu-Robb, is the founder of Nosh Detox, located in the UK. They offer innovative raw food smoothies sold across Europe. You experience it in your skin, your body, and your mind. And now it's time for Living Raw Radio.
Good evening, everybody. This is Living Raw Radio with me, Sidhu-Robb, and it's wonderful to be joining you. And I hope that the sun is shining where you are. It is extremely hot and wonderful where we are. And we had a lovely evening to be doing this and hanging out with you. And my guest today is somebody who specializes in sending you to amazingly hot places. Stella Photi is a remarkable woman. She decided a really long time ago that this is my theory. My theory is that she decided she really liked going on holiday. So she set up a company that just lets her go on holiday all the time and call it work. This is my basic theory. We're going to talk to Stella this evening and find out how you take the concept of people wanting to be relaxed and chilled and actually take that and make a really wildly successful commercial business out of that. Stella, are you there?
I'm here, Geeta. Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So that's true, isn't it?
Not quite. Although everybody thinks it is. I think, that was the theory. It hasn't quite worked out that way as much as I would like it to be.
So why did you start? I mean, your company's called Wellbeing Escapes.
Right,
which is great because it means that it's not just let's go sit in the sun. You know, you have Sunny Holidays Limited, don't you? And you're not saying Sunny Holidays Limited. You're saying here's somewhere, to me, Wellbeing Escapes means here's somewhere that we will help you to go to make you feel better so that you come back sort of at the top of your game.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I mean, it all started when I worked in the corporate world, and I was extremely stressed, and I was kind of craving holidays that would make a difference to my well-being, and I would come back feeling rejuvenated and recharged, rather than kind of fly and flop type places.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really find what I was looking for, to be honest. I spent quite a lot of time just Googling stuff and looking at lovely pictures on websites, and ended up going to some places that kind of seriously disappointed me and paying a lot of money for them. So I thought
and you're trapped, aren't you, when you're there? Yeah,
absolutely. You know, you want to have treatments, and you want to do yoga, and you want to take part in all the healthy activities. And you don't really have any real idea whether it's good or bad before you go. So when I was there, I was trapped, and I'd go off and have treatments and take part in yoga classes, and then have to find them all to my room, and have that kind of checkout stress that you do when you think about, oh my gosh, how much have I spent while I'm here, and then having to deal with that stress when you check out. But more importantly, a lot of the times I was disappointed with the quality and the authenticity of the treatments, the quality of the classes, and we're going back a good 10 years. But it gave me the idea, because I thought actually there's nobody who's really pre-qualified these places to say that they deliver. And in this day, when there's a trend and everyone jumps on it. In those days, it was spa. So every hotel said they had a spa, and every hotel had great treatments and witty websites and beautiful pictures. So you didn't really know at that time if you were going for somewhere good or not, unless you'd read about it in the newspaper or heard about it from a friend. So that's really what gave me the idea, and I got into yoga. And I was really interested to do a yoga holiday, but kind of a luxury yoga retreat or a luxury yoga holiday, rather than, one of those retreats run by teachers, individual teachers. And I did a bit of kind of research and went and spoke to travel agents. I tried to look online, and there were so many choices that came up. I was so baffled with it, and thought, well, it would be brilliant if somebody could recommend some places to me that had already been pre-qualified, and that's really how the company was born. It was just it was my desire to do the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and also if I can interrupt there, I mean, to be clear about disturbing who's listening, I went on a yoga retreat, and when Stella says not one of those run by teachers, but I mean petrifying, seriously. I had to take a boat to an island, so there was no escape, and it sounded good because it was in the Bahamas. But, you know, it was like an unkempt island, and on my way to the loo at night, which I had to walk halfway to find, there were snakes that went across the middle of the thing, and you shared a bathroom with 24 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. And that was
No.
great for what it was, but that's not what I was looking for.
Absolutely. I think this is it. And I think, you know, certainly myself, I didn't want to go and share a room with someone I hadn't met before, and be in a really kind of basic environment, as good as the yoga may be. So that's really what I was looking for, and it was just quite hard to find that at the time. And so in those days it was spa, and it was really pre-qualifying the best spa resorts and you know, the best places to practice yoga. And we were the first company actually to start positioning well-being escapes or well-being holidays by category. So the way we positioned it was, here are the best detox holidays we can find, and these are the various places around the world that you can go and get them. Here are the best Ayurveda resorts around the world, and this is where you can go, and these are the kind of packages you should do. So we try to educate our clients of the different kind of wellness principles and put together programs and packages that would basically tick their boxes for the goals that they wanted to achieve.
So it was almost guiding them into understanding what was available.
Yes, absolutely. And that was the vision. We were the first to do it, and it worked really well. From those days when we started, we've been going 8 years. Now the inward is wellness, and so, you know, every hotel before had a spa, and now every spa says they offer wellness, which it actually isn't the case, because, you know, wellness is quite a difficult thing, as you know, Geeta, to deliver. So yes, and that we've kind of evolved now, and we're looking when we're putting forward our wellness packages, we're ensuring that they do tick all those boxes, and we really delve into the detail. We go into as much detail as looking at how the protocol of the therapist, how they've been trained. You know, does a single traveller feel comfortable in the environment? Do they get water in the room? Is it free? Is it charged for? But we really kind of drill down on that detail to make sure.
And that really matters for women, doesn't it? Because you don't want to go somewhere and feel like a weirdo and have that horrible room that they put you in by the lift. Yeah. And every table you get given is by the kitchen door because you're on your own and you're not going to tip as well as the man, so who cares? Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. So we look at all of those things, and I think the places that we work with, the resorts, we work with really hard to negotiate really good deals and packages for our clients. But half of them, I think, all of them respect us because the quality of the clients that we send are excellent, and they really take advantage of the facilities on offer. But I think they're slightly scared of us, to be honest. We drill them down to so much detail. I think they probably dread it every time we phone them because they're thinking, oh my gosh, what are they going to ask us now? But we have to do that. You know, it's not just about selling a normal holiday with a normal bed and okay, off you go. You know, go and stay in this lovely hotel, which is a luxury hotel, and then you're left to your own devices. It's just the whole package with regards to the treatments, the activities, the food, the environment, all of those things. So yeah. So is that so you're saying that before it was spas, now it's wellness. I mean, what, according to me, if you're going to go somewhere, generally speaking, you get massages or you get yoga or you get stuff like that. But I don't understand the distinction between a spa holiday and a wellness holiday, and I don't understand why I want one and not the other.
That's a really good question, Geeta. I think it's the spa holiday is very much about going somewhere to feel pampered and just rejuvenated, and you know, in a kind of a relaxing environment. So you'll go off and you'll have your massages and maybe do the odd class, but it will just be tagged along to your regular holiday activities, whether it's sightseeing or, enjoying your food or whatever it may be. A wellness holiday is far more integrated with regards to what you want to achieve at the end of it. So a wellness holiday could be anything from a complete detox program to a weight loss program to a fitness program, and it's basically everything around it has been integrated. So the food complements, your menus complement your activities. Your treatments have been your treatment program has been carefully devised so that you could achieve your overall goal at the end of your holiday. And that's really the difference. It's all about the integration of all the elements that have been put together rather than just a few treatments at a spa when you go on holiday.
Right. So what you're saying is that a spa holiday, the focus is the holiday, and you have a few things to kind of keep you going. Yeah. Whereas a wellness holiday actually is for a particular purpose. So you have decided, I want to go to this holiday, I want to get fit. I want to go to this holiday, I want to chill.
Right.
Or I want to go on this holiday and I want to lose weight.
Right.
And then your team sets that all together.
Yes.
And makes it work. Does that mean that if you look at all that level of detail, Stella, does that mean that you guys have to have visited every single place? Or have you now developed sort of criteria that they have to follow?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're expanding our portfolio constantly. So, but we do try and get to visit probably at least 80% of the places that we feature. And the others, yes, we have very strict criteria that they have to follow, big questionnaires and big kind of interviews, I suppose, with their spa directors and their nutritionists and their chefs and everyone there. So yeah, but we do try and get to see most of them because we feel it's important and it's such a personal experience, a wellness holiday. Our clients really want to know what we thought of it. So we try. But saying that, it doesn't mean that we're all off all the time on holiday. Otherwise, of course, we wouldn't have a business.
I think that was just me and...
That should be the case.
Yeah. No, I think that was me and the green-eyed monster just being jealous.
It's all right. I'm actually jealous of our product manager here who gets to go to a lot of the places and does the research. So I think she's got she does a lot of hard work too with negotiating with the hotels and dealing with the difficult questions. But she gets to see a lot of the places. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a place where if you ever start advertising for that job, you should tell us all about it, frankly.
Yeah, I will.
So the thing is that what happened to that good old-fashioned, let's just go on holiday? Why you think people now go away on holiday to try and feel better? Do you know what I mean? What happened to, well, I'm off on holiday, bye, see you, I've rented a house and I'm going to go hang out? Yeah. How did you suddenly... I used to know about places in Thailand like Shivasom and things like that, but this is now an entire industry, is it? How did that happen? Why?
It's massive. It's massive. Look, it's still very specialist, Gita. It's not mainstream, and most people still just go on holiday. That's fine, and that suits them. But this industry, I think, has blossomed purely because of people's lifestyles and the levels of stress and just the pace of life. And I think people are beginning to really think about preventative health and how they can help themselves stay healthy and basically be productive and deal with our pace of life. So these types of holidays are almost like a reboot. I was talking about this earlier with our team here. I was saying it's interesting how we reboot our computer equipment so that it can be at optimum levels, but a lot of people don't do that with their own health. And I think the difference is to take all the healthy practices and move yourself outside of your normal day-to-day environment and put yourself in an environment where you're nurtured and you're supported, and you can actually do a health and wellness program and come back feeling really revitalized and rejuvenated. And it's not the days of kind of really hard boot camp, health farm type environments have gone. You know, in the old days, people would go to health farms and have very unappealing salads and walk around in toweling robes all day. And you know, there's still a few of those places, but as you mentioned, places like Chiba Som, you know, there's some fantastic destination spas around the world where, you know, you can go to and you have beautiful gourmet food, very healthy food, but, you know, beautifully presented, very tasty. You know, you're in very luxurious surroundings, so you still feel like you're having a holiday, but you get the benefits out of that too.
Yeah, no, I was just sort of lost while you were talking. Sorry, I was imagining myself wandering around in a gourmet place with them. I'd completely disappeared there. I was like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah. So you're saying that basically because we've gotten busier, because our lifestyles are harder, and also I think probably there's more single people with money to spend, and I imagine that there are also so many more female professionals. How many male to women ratio do you have?
Oh, sadly, it's still low. Our ratio is 90% female, 10% male. You know, it's interesting because a lot of our clients are actually, they travel on their own, but they are in relationships, but they have problems convincing their partners, I think, to go along. And then there's the other side, of course, of wanting to go on your own so that you can solely focus on your own health and kind of be selfish for once. You know, I think women struggle with that all the time, you know, kind of focusing on themselves. So it's a nice way to do that. But sadly, the men, certainly in this country, aren't jumping on the wellness holiday bandwagon.
So they're not as aware of their health, you'd say, maybe.
Well, I think they are. I think lots of men are like really into fitness and, you know, really kind of high adrenaline fitness type activities and maybe that type of holiday. But I think the word spa and the word wellness has, you know, serious female connotations. So there's a bit of an image problem there, and I think a lot of men think, oh, I'm just going to go there and be really bored and be surrounded by candles and
and I'm going to have to chant.
Yeah, and I think it just scares the life out of them, to be honest. A lot of the time they would really enjoy it. I mean, I know from taking my husband on some of these most amazing spas around the world, and, you know, he kind of dreads it before he goes because he thinks, oh my gosh, he's going to have me doing meditation classes and yoga classes and that. But there is so much for people to do there. If you're not into that, don't do it. You can go off and do, you know, fitness, or, you know, there's usually kind of cultural activities also attached to these places. So, and in fact, we've developed a brand, kind of a sub-brand called Discover and Unwind, where you can go and basically unwind in these places and really get into the natural therapies of that particular country. But you can also discover the place. So,
oh,
you know,
wow, like where?
Yeah, I mean, for, you know, example, you can go. We've got we've got them all over the world, but we've got a great little place in Malta, in Gozo, and people can actually get into going around the island and visiting sites and doing a diving trip or a snorkeling trip in the ocean, as well as having, you know, the most amazing Ayurveda treatments at this particular spa. So there's a way to combine the both. That's really popular with our clients. We do that in Europe, but, you know, you can go to Bali. You're not going to fly all the way to Bali and just stay in your hotel. So it's also an opportunity to go out and visit the area.
And why did you set something like that up? Did you see the need, in what way?
Yeah, we saw the need in that. I think a lot of our clients were saying, well, we want to go here, for example, we want to go to Thailand to this most amazing spa and do this, you know, take advantage of the treatments there, but at the same time we want to see the place. Yeah. And so we just put together these packages where they have they have tours around places that are usually private tours, so it's all, you know, very kind of exclusive, and they really enjoy it. It's fantastic.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, but isn't it just like something that's really out of reach for your average person to be able to do? Aren't these sort of things really expensive? I mean, I haven't even been on any of these because I look at them and I think, gosh, they look horrendously expensive.
Well, they are they do look horrendously expensive, but actually they're not when you work it all out.
Right.
And that's the difference. You know, I was talking about the beginning where I would go off on these holidays and I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I've got my dog here at the office and he wants some water, so he's like scratching the carpet, wanting water.
Oh, sweetie, does he come to the office with you?
He does. He comes to the office. He's my stress relief. So sorry about that. A little bit of distraction.
Don't worry.
As I was saying, yes, if you break it all down and you go on holiday and you pay your amount for your room and say your breakfast, and then you start adding on all the bits and bobs. So you start adding on your treatments, and then you have to pay extra for a class, and then, you know, if you go on a tour, if the concierge organises something for you, you pay for this, and then you pay for your water in your room, and you add it all up.
They have a word for this in telecoms. It's called bill shock.
Yeah, it's bill shock. Absolutely, but this is what we try and do, is we try and bear all this in mind and build together these packages where you're almost prepaying for it all, but at a discounted rate.
Because you've chosen it all up front.
Yes, we put it all together. And also because a company like us, we send some volumes to the places that we work with, so we can negotiate, and we put together really good deals. So, for example, a lot of the places that we deal with, we negotiate no single supplements, and that's quite a big deal for people who travel on their own. They get really stung on the room rates. You know, they end up paying almost double because they're one person alone in a room. And we feel quite strongly about that, because we say, why should people be penalised because they're travelling alone and they want to focus on their health? So we
I've always wondered about that. I have to say.
Yeah. Well, that's really important for us to look after our clients from that angle. And on our website we have a section called Single Friendly, and basically all the packages that we offer that are single friendly are, you will either get a really good deal at as a single traveller, and you will feel comfortable at. So this is what we do to make sure that
make it good value.
Yeah, make it good value. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's just go very quickly to a break now, and then you can give your dog water.
Thank you.
We can come back and we're going to ask you a little bit more about you as a person and what this means and how you work within this. And we'll be back very shortly. It's Living Raw Radio, and we're going to have a little break. And this is Geeta Sidhu-Robb, and I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes.
Detox is an award-winning company for your ultimate health improvement. Nosh Detox system works on all areas of the body, having dealt with thousands of clients whose health dramatically improved within days. For more details, visit noshdetox.com. noshdetox.com.
Do you feel bloated? Is your energy levels really low? Do you find everything that you eat goes straight to fat? My name is Candice, and I am the naturopathic nutritionist at Nosh Detox. I am here to tell you that your body needs a rest. If that sounds like you are ready to try a Nosh juice fast. A juice fast is the most natural way for your body to detox, while providing you all the life-saving minerals and vitamins that your body needs and craves. From beginners to advanced juices, we have all the options that may be available to you or suited to you. Call me on 0845 257 6674 or go to noshdetox.com and click on the right program for you. I'm right here to help you and support you. Thank you.
Hi, it's Living Raw Radio, and it's Geeta Sidhu-Robb, and I'm here with an amazing guest, Stella Photi, who runs Well-Being Holidays. And, I mean, I know that it's just a standard joke, but it is just amazing to see somebody whose entire life is dedicated to making our holiday times just nicer for us. I mean, it must be something, Stella, that is really, really quite rewarding. Is that right?
Oh yeah, very, very much, very rewarding for us. I mean, we have. I still get very excited about it. I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I get very excited when we get the feedback from our clients when they've returned, where it's made such a difference to people's lives. I remember I think it was the year one, we sent, and I was handling a lot of the clients myself then, and we sent a client to a wonderful destination spa in India called Ananda in the Himalayas, which is it's an award-winning kind of top-class destination spa. And I remember speaking to the lady when she came back, and she said, "Oh my gosh, it has, thank you so much for sending me there. It has changed my life." She said, "I've now taken a room in my house and made it into a yoga studio." And
wow.
It had really had such an effect on her life that I can't tell you how much it meant to me. It's so rewarding, and we hear it all the time, every day, about whether people have been stressed and have come back feeling much better. People have taken, big life-changing decisions on our breaks, or they've come back and they've lost weight when they've been struggling to do that before, or they've come back after a detox, and it's massively rewarding. It sounds really cheesy, but I just get very excited about it. So
I think it is as well, I have to say.
Yeah. So I asked. Sorry,
carry on. You asked.
No. I asked my team to forward me all these messages because it does make it all worthwhile.
Oh, that's fantastic. It is true. I mean, because even at Nosh, when we help people with their weight or how they feel, there's always a before and an after. So it's such a distinct line somehow, where before you helped and after you helped.
Right.
And I think that's really amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
But what is it that makes you different from, now there's 500 million people that kind of do what you do, don't they? Why would you go to Wellbeing Escapes instead of one of them?
Well,
there was probably a really polite way of putting that,
No, I totally get it. Well, mainly because we were the first people to do this, and we are the pioneers with it. There are a lot of copycats out there, but that's the same with every industry. You have people who do stuff, and then there's other people who come along and copy them, and you have that. But we're constantly pioneering it and taking it to the next level and researching. And we also have an extremely high repeat client ratio. So we have about a 50% repeat client ratio in there.
Wow, that's high.
Every month, that is high, and it's because it's such a personal type of holiday, and people trust us, so they come back to us time and time again. And also, we're the biggest company specialising in wellbeing holidays, so we've got a lot of experience, and we, through the years, we've learnt what's important to our clients, and we're just constantly working to make things better and to refine the experience, and just really set trends and tell people the next best place to go and the next best thing to do and how that's going to help them. So,
how do you find these trends out?
Actually,
do you actually go on any of your holidays?
No, I do. Not as many as I would like. I do go on them. It sounds really strange, but it actually is. It is a bit stressful for me when I'm on them, because I'm constantly thinking about things and looking for it's work, looking for areas to improve. And even when I go as a personal holiday with my partner, I'm constantly having meetings and wanting to talk to the people there about the experiences and just the constant refinement. So going back to your question, how do we set trends? It's actually by listening to our clients and hearing what it is that is troubling them and what is the big issue at that time. So right now it's very much about stress management. So we're really into thinking about, when we're putting our packages together, how can we help them relieve their stress? And we've recently introduced something called wellbeing boosters, because what we found is that time is a big limitation for people, and so a lot of people just don't have the time to be able to give 7 to 10 days in, to going to a wellness retreat and really looking after themselves with regard to a wellness program. So we've put together something called wellbeing boosters, where people can have short breaks, but we've devised the treatments and the activities so they can make the most out of 4 nights, and come back at least feeling rejuvenated. So it really is about listening to people and seeing what it is that they need and then giving them a solution for it.
So, okay. So you're saying that, say you've heard from 3, 5, 7 people, I'm stressed. You've then heard from, say, 3, 20, 40 people, I can't take 10 days off, I can't have time off from work. You think, well, hang on a minute, actually it must be. So tell me what happens next. You've sort of thought, well, there's something people are looking for here that we're not providing. What do you then do?
Well, I sit down with my team here and we basically brainstorm how we're going to put something together that will fit the needs of our clients or help them solve their issues. And we then come up with a kind of a solution, a formula that we go out to our partners and put together packages, looking at all their... So, because each hotel may have a different range of treatments. Right. So we'll look at those particular treatments for that particular place and pick out the ones that we think are the best, and then, maybe couple them together. Like these wellbeing boosters, for example, they have a couple of treatments, and the treatments can be different where you go, because, we home in on the speciality of that place. But they also have a private class, so it could be a private meditation class or a private yoga class, and we try and give people the choice so they don't feel like, oh, well, I don't do yoga, so we may have like a private yoga, private Pilates, private meditation, depending on, again, the speciality of that place. We then negotiate a good deal around that and put it out there.
Well, and there's nothing worse than rocking up to a class somewhere. For me, I do a lot of yoga, but if I go to a gym, I'm petrified. I'm really petrified. So I don't want to rock up somewhere and be the only person that doesn't know what they're doing. So if you've got the opportunity to start privately so that even that when you came back, you could join a class, that would make a huge difference. Yeah,
absolutely, especially with personal training.
Yeah, exactly, because it's just intimidating as heck, isn't it? Especially all those women that rock around looking like they know exactly what they're doing. You think, oh, shoot me now, why don't you?
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
I know what you mean, and certainly for me, with yoga, I can give you. I've been doing yoga for many, many years, but it's I've gone to class after class after class, But it's not until I've had some private yoga sessions, actually, at some of the places that we feature, that I've realized that I found certain poses so difficult because I've been doing them wrong. You know, and you're in a big class, no one watches you to come and correct you, you know, so it can be really valuable. And then I brought that back and applied it to my yoga practice. It made a world of difference.
Yeah, it's true. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's almost like what you do is you're sort of creating a company that's a universal nurturer.
Yeah, that's a really nice way of putting it, Gita.
That's a whole new take on the UN, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what it is, isn't it, Stella? Because well-being escapes, and your team and you, it's like, because people don't look after us in the way that perhaps they did when we were in a community, and when we had time to spend with our family and our friends, and people saw you and said, you're looking a little tired, you might need a night off, you might need help with your children, you might need this, you might need that. It's almost like that isn't there, and you stepped in to provide that as a service for your clients.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way, definitely. I think we're there to be a support, and also just to make sure when they do go away, they do have a nurturing environment that they feel looked after and taken care of, and that's really important. I wish we could do it for them when they were at home too, but that's quite a big task, I think. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I mean
I think you do that.
Yes, just pass them on to us before and after.
Yeah.
but you actually, I mean, and I've spent time with you, and I mean, I'm privileged to count you amongst a colleague of mine and a friend, and you give off that energy. I mean, you do give us that energy of wanting to look after people, wanting to make people happier, make their world a better place. So you sort of hold everybody's space for them.
Yes, well, we try to. That's the aim and that's the mission. And I think when you start a business, I mean, for me, when I started the business, it wasn't to make lots of money and, you know, be super rich or anything like that. It was actually because I passionately believed in this and in well-being escapes. I actually passionately still believe that they have so much benefit in people's lives, and I think if you really have a very clear mission and vision, and your team then take that on, it really does filter down to what your product offering is, and also how you treat your clients, and that's very important to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
There's authenticity then, all the way through the message and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do now then? Where are you going to take this principle where you do get to nurture people and you do get to, I think we should put UN up on your website, by the way. that whole in inverted commas.
That's very sweet. That's very ambitious. That's very sweet. I'm flattered.
What do you want to do next? What do you see?
What do I want to do next? Well, one of the issues we have, because we have a very personal service, we've been up to now we've been very much focusing on international experiences. You know, actually going abroad to have one of these lovely holidays, and that may not be right for any particular individual at that time of their life. So they may not want to commit, you know, even 3 or 4 days to do that. So what I want to do is make well-being more accessible and bring it to people in a way that they can try it and it's not prohibitive, cost prohibitive or time prohibitive. So we've just actually a couple of months ago introduced an online booking website where people can actually go in and book experiences. And our next thing now is to widen our portfolio to more UK type experiences.
What does that mean, for example?
Well, so somebody could go away for just one night in a retreat in the UK, because we've never really looked at that in a big way, so we're really going after that now and looking at that closely and finding some most amazing small retreats and small business and amazing professionals who can provide, really nurturing wellness services in the UK. And that's what we're really looking at doing, whether it's from a day experience to, a weekend break here in the UK. And the other thing that we're doing is actually reaching out to other international markets. And since we've had the online booking facility, we've had people book with us from other countries, and we don't actually market ourselves massively right now in other countries.
So you mean they've come to find you?
Yes, they have. And it's interesting because we've spoken to a few of them who said, oh, we don't have companies like you in our country, and we really like what you're doing. So that's an opportunity for us too, and it's like kind of spreading the well-being word in other markets, and that's quite exciting.
So what would success look like for you going forward?
Oh, for me, I think...
Yeah, you personally. I mean, you are the driving force behind Wellbeing Escapes, aren't you? And you're the person that sees the vision, holds the vision, creates the team, does all that stuff. What do you want it? What does it look like for you if it works spectacularly well?
Well, for me, I would like more and more people to be open to trying a different kind of well-being or wellness experience, whether that's like a short break here in the UK, right through to doing the best spa, destination spa around the world. And I think for me, it's about almost changing. Well, I can get quite philosophical here, so I won't go on too long about it. But it's about changing the culture of how we approach health and our health, and that's far-reaching from how you live your daily life to how you choose to spend your leisure time, your free time, your holiday time, and it's because it's had such an effect on me. When I first started my company, I was, it was quite tough the first couple of years, and I worked extremely hard, and I had adrenal burnout, and I was somebody who already knew about this stuff, but I didn't recognize it in myself because I thought I was fine. I was dealing with everything okay, and I was okay, and there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm strong, and I can deal with all of this. And I got invited by one of our partners in Thailand to go visit their spa, and they said, oh, well, come along, and they specialized in detox, and I went along, and I wanted to do a detox. I said, okay, I'll come along and do a detox. And I was seen by a naturopath who said to me, there's no way you can do detox. Yeah. You've got burnout. There is no way that you could possibly do this. You need to be built up and nurtured, and you need to get your equilibrium back. But I didn't recognize that in myself, and I was supposedly an expert in this subject. And
well, yes, you were, but for everyone else, not yourself.
Exactly. And that was a real eye opener for me, because I thought, wow, if I already know about this stuff and I can't see that in myself, how many people out there are just hugely stressed and suffering from just really bad lifestyle without, we just soldier on, and that's part of our culture. We're fine, we can keep going.
I think that phrase should be burnt.
Yeah.
In
effigy. I think that phrase is part of our culture. It's that it's just how we are, and it's almost like if you stop to look after yourself, you're showing weakness.
Yeah.
And that permeates right through to how people take their holidays. So that for me would be a true success, having more and more people understand that and really take the time out to look after themselves, and then bring back tools. I mean, on that break, I knew this, but they were saying, well, you drink too much coffee. I didn't think I drank too much coffee. I drank 2 or 3 cups a day, but then I was told, don't drink coffee after midday. And I brought that back, and it made such an impact. It had such an impact on my health and my life, really, that small thing. So
really, it made that big a difference?
Yes, it did. It absolutely did. It for me, it did, because I was actually burnt out, and coffee was holding me up. So I was having my coffee at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was really not doing me any good. So yeah, but these are the when we're choosing the places that we work with, we want our clients to go there and learn as well, so they can come back, they can apply not everything. I mean, that's, you know, we're also realistic to modern day lifestyles, but apply a few things to their day-to-day life that will have an impact and make a difference in how they feel.
That's amazing. And I mean, okay, so if you've set yourself this little, small, not at all monumental target of changing how people think about themselves.
So you have to have big goals.
You do have to have big goals. That's my absolute theory. In fact, have a goal and triple it is my basic theory in life. I'm going to say, what do you do in your spare time? What does that mean for you as a person? Because you have a child and you're married and you have your personal life. I mean, is there somewhere that you guys as a family like to go together, or do you take time out from your family and go on your own as well and travel?
Yeah, I try and do that myself because I preach for other people to do that, so I should do that myself. And I do try and do it. Not as much as I would like. I don't have the time. And I do suffer with the same guilt as everybody else, where I feel guilty when I leave my family. But where do we go? I mean, I'm happy to. My parents have a beautiful house in Cyprus, and we go there and we just really chill out. And I swim every day in the ocean, early in the morning. And these things make me happy too. It doesn't have to all be about going off and having treatments and doing activities. But I think for me, the thing that what makes me happy and how do I find well-being, it's important for me to laugh. Actually, every day I try and find time to laugh. And I think
that's sweet.
Yeah, I think it has such an impact on your relationships, whether it's with your partner or the people you work with. And yes, I do have these monumental goals, but I also have learned over the years that you can't be too hard on yourself. There are so many A-type personalities out there now, high, especially with women, high-achieving women, and they try and be perfect in every aspect of their lives, but they forget to enjoy the small day-to-day pleasures. And so I'm really mindful of that now, and I try and really think about the small day-to-day pleasures. It's little things like taking the dog for a walk and listening to birds. And that has such. It sounds cheesy, but it has such an impact on me because we rush around and we're all trying to achieve our goals all the time, every day. And I think it's good to just stop sometimes and take note of our surroundings and just be mindful of that. It really, that's how I try and live my life.
And is that why you meditate? Because you were saying that you meditate. I do. I'm a big meditator. I started meditating many years ago, actually, before I started Wellbeing Escapes, and I did that because I was going through quite a stressful period in my life, and I was finding it hard to make decisions, big life decisions. And actually, it was my mother who's always been quite inspirational. An inspirational role model for me with regards to how she looks at preventative health, and she bought me a course actually. So I was a bit skeptical at the time, but I went along, and it has made such an impact to my life. And I do something called Vedic Meditation, which is also known as Transcendental Meditation, TM. And it's quite strict. You have to do it twice a day for 20 minutes. I don't always do the twice a day at 20 minutes, but I try at least once a day. And it has such an impact on your life, especially if you have a stressful lifestyle. So I always recommend people try some. There are so many different types of meditation, but just to try it. It really is an amazing practice. Yeah, I agree. I think, and especially when you're blathering and you can't quite work out what you're ever going to do, it does make a big difference, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I mean, so what do you suggest as a topical tip for the next? I mean, because summer, there is that whole. I've just come back from holiday in inverted commas with 8 children. Yeah, just laugh at me, why don't you? Honestly, I'm trying to work out how I'm going to go away on holiday. What's a good tip for surviving summer with your well-being intact?
Ooh.
Well, because, kids are on holiday, we're working.
Is that true? That's true.
What would you do? What would you recommend?
Oh, just to stay okay. Well, it's we're all enjoying the great sunshine right now, and but I'm hearing people start to complain about the heat. So I think people are getting quite hot, and I'm noticing quite a bit of road rage going on too, because people are stuck in cars and they want to get out. And so I think for me it would be just. Again, for me it's meditation, but even if you're not going to meditate, just spend 20 minutes sitting by yourself, maybe on a park bench or in your garden, somewhere quiet where you can just sit and concentrate on your breathing, and trying to just stay calm and enjoy your surroundings. I think that alone will help you tremendously. Take some time for yourself, because we have very social lives as well, and everyone's running from work, and it's a great time of year to socialise and go to parties and go out and al fresco dining and all the fun stuff that you do in the city. And I do that too, and it's great fun, but you can feel really exhausted once you do all of that, and as you say, with the kids. So just take a bit of time for yourself, very simply.
Okay. Well, I think that's really good advice. So are you going to do that too?
I am. I'm definitely going to do that.
That's fantastic. Stella, tell us what your website address is, please.
It's www.wellbeingescapes.com.
Perfect. And thank you so much for coming on. That was just a lot of fun, and it's made me feel quite calm, considering I've had those 8 children in that holiday.
Oh.
Having now spent... Yeah, exactly. I haven't spent all that time thinking that I could be going off and hanging out in my dressing gown and being ministered to. Gives me hope, frankly.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, and I'm sure you had lots of laughter with the kids too, so that's good too.
It was fantastic, I have to say. We had such a good time, because the water was very cold, and their primary aim every day was to chuck me headfirst into it, which made me a very good runner.
There you go, and it's good for the circulation too.
Oh my word, isn't it ever?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me. And this is Living Raw Radio, and we'll be back next week. And have a wonderful evening, and look forward to speaking to you soon. This is Gita Sidhu-Robb. Bye-bye.